Hey, it's me, MLB. This next part has a racy scene, but I've written it as tactfully as possible so as not to cause too much external and internal blushing, but just a warning not to listen to it on blast next to grandma, you know? Anyway, here is part 10 of 50 Ways to Kiss. Enjoy! You didn't ask why he had said it was good that your mum wasn't home. Your mind had already conjoined with his and you knew he was going to want to perform a love bite. He still didn't trust that you were completely and truly his. You led the way to the front door and tried the handle. It was locked. Okay, so mum really is out. Sometimes she leaves the door open if she's home. You stepped into the darkened house with Shoto following closely behind. You were going to turn a light on, at least, but his arm had snaked around your middle and his lips had pressed to the back of your neck before you had a chance to execute your move. His warm top lip sending a shiver down your right side of your body, while his cooler bottom lip made your left side pump full of goosebumps. Shoto, you whispered. That's all you got out. You wanted to say more, but your body had been paralysed by his touch. He took a step into you, making you walk forwards into the lounge room, where he beelined you for a couch, and you turned in his arms and fell back onto it with him over the top of you. It was clear that he was single-minded on trying out this hickey thing, and his mouth met yours before trailing kisses down your front to your skin just visible above the dress line. You scrunched your fingers into his red and white hair, gripping bunches of strands against your palms as his dual-temperatured lips tenderly detailed your décolletage, your head tilting back and eyes closing to the sensations as he came back up a bit. Finding a soft spot just at the base of your neck, his tongue swiped your soft skin a little, teasing up an area to suck his lips against. It took him a second or two to figure out how to do it, then you felt the pressure building as he drew your skin to his mouth and sucked it against his teeth. You let out a small sigh, letting it escape from your lips, focusing on his fingertips that were pressed into your back as he held your body against his face. He didn't hold you like that for very long, but long enough, and then let your skin go from his lips with an audible pop and moved on to the next spot. You kissed the top of his head as he kissed and kitten licked your skin and moved down a little, over to your right, then sucked on your skin there. You were both so into it that neither of you saw the headlights of your mum's car pulling into the driveway, and the motor turn off, and the car door open, then close, then her soft footsteps as she walked to the front door and used her key to open it. You heard the soft crunch of the key entering the lock and you froze for a second, wondering if you'd been hearing things. But before you had a second to react, the door flew open and your mum beelined for the lounge room and flicked the lights on. "Oh!" she exclaimed as the light flooded the room and illuminated you on the lounge in one of Aunt Gina's dresses with a handsome boy over the top of you. "Mum!" You'd pushed Shoto off within another second and sat up, adjusting the top of your dress and trying to make yourself look as presentable as possible. She was just standing there, gobsmacked. Not only did she not know that you had a boyfriend, but she had found out as you two were making out on the lounge. Well, it looked like you were making out to her. We weren't doing anything," you said sheepishly. Because clothes?" You pointed to your dress to prove that, hey, at least you didn't have to worry about a baby on the way, right? Your mum's eyes locked with Shoto's, who stood up and pressed his arms to his side and bowed slightly. "Forgive me," he said in his deep monotone voice. Your mum walked right over to him and lifted his head, checking his features over as he stiffened under her hold. "You have an exquisite jawline," she announced. "You would make a fantastic model." "Huh?" you asked, shocked that this was the first thing to come out of her mouth at a time like this. But, knowing your mum, that was a very her thing to say. Shoto blinked a few times, not understanding what she was talking about. Mum, this is my boyfriend, Shoto. I didn't know how to tell you that I had a boyfriend." Your mum looked from you, back to Shoto, then to you, then back to him again. "Oh, I forgot to record the show tonight. Gosh darn it, sorry Toto," she said as she let him go and turned as if to walk to the television set. "Shoto, Mum, it's Shoto." "Shoto, like the television show and Toenail?" she said with a smile. "No, Mum," you deadpanned. Why was she like this? "It's a pleasure to meet you," Shoto said, still trying to grapple with the unusual situation that he'd been thrust into. "I need to speak with you, young man," your mum suddenly announced to him, and he stiffened ever so slightly. Oh no, he thought, I know what's going to happen here. She beckoned him to follow her, and he did, walking out into the hall with her as you groaned and hung your head into your hands. This is going to be a disaster," you sighed. What are your intentions with my daughter? She asked, parroting the line that she had heard so many times on so many movies. I'm afraid someone may try and take Yin from me, and so I was performing a... Someone is after my daughter's life? Your mum gasped. Yes, Shoto replied earnestly. You could already hear the conversation spiralling, and you flopped back on the lounge and covered your face with your hands. Oh, it's like the blind leading the blind out there, you moaned internally. Are you in the hero course? Your mum asked Shoto. I am, he said with a firm head nod. Then I trust my daughter to you. You must protect her, she said. She's my beautiful daughter, and if anything happens to her, do not worry. I've put a mark on her so that no one can take her from me, Shoto replied. With your quirk? Oh, I see. Oh, I misinterpreted everything, your mum gasped. Yes, thank you, Shomo. You're welcome. My name is Shoto Todoroki, he added. Oh, not the last name, you groaned out loud. Todoroki? Endeavour's son? Your mum gasped. Oh, the good fortune that you are protecting my daughter. I knew her birth year would bring great things for her. Must be Jupiter rising. Are you hungry? I've already eaten, but I'll cook now. Your mum had entered one of her random garbles, and you thought it best to step in now. Mum, we ate. You were in the doorway within a split second. But, thank you, and I think Shoto has to leave now. You looked at him for confirmation. It's not like you could do anything more together anyway because your mum was home. He nodded slowly, his gaze shifting to your neck, then back to your face. Yes, I'll go now. I'll see you on Monday, he said. Okay, I'll walk you out, you said, giving your mum a look before taking his arm and walking him to the door. You waited until you were outside before apologising to him about your mum. She can be a little odd, but she's harmless. I hope she didn't say anything too weird, you asked cautiously. No, he replied, a gentle look washing over his features. No, I am happy. Okay, you asked suspiciously. But you didn't get to ask any more questions because his chauffeur pulled up and you gave him a quick kiss before he hopped into the back of the car. He left so suddenly it stunned you a little, but the night had stunned you a little full stop. With a confused shake of your head, you turned to go back inside. I wonder what he was so happy about, you asked yourself as you closed the front door and went to clear things up with your mum. It's going to be an interesting part next Wednesday. I'll see you there for part 11.